Okay, so people, I'm at the Results Center in Western Cape IEC, and I'm sitting with a person that he hoped to create bigger waves, but he created waves. Fadiel Adams, the leader of the National Colored Congress, but on the ballot they were the NCC. Fadiel, it's your first national and provincial elections. You guys contested 2021 local government elections. You went into the city of Cape Town. What are your impressions of this election initially?
I never knew how much work goes into an election. I'll tell you that. Into a national election, I don't know if I'll do this again. It's total madness, And we've got I think every party is complaining about the IEC, but we also have a certain amount of respect for the IEC if you look at the scale of this operation. So we've taken a lot from it, and I can tell you this: we'll be much better prepared coming back.
Okay. So, and in terms of the results, did it meet what you guys indicated that you want? What was your numbers nationally and the numbers that you guys got?
We actually didn't set targets.
Okay.
Because you got to be financed in order to be target driven, and we are not financed. I'm looking at that board. I'm assuming that people are paying 2-3 million rand per national seat. Whatever we get out of this election, we've achieved it for 14,000 rand. So
14,000 rand.
14,000 rand. So we didn't have the right to set targets. What we did is bank on the fact that the people whose lives we've improved would come out and vote for us, and that's what we get.
Okay.
We didn't buy a vote. We didn't swap a sweater or a food parcel for a vote because we didn't have none of that. So I'm happy. I'm happy.
So how many votes did you get nationally so far?
Nationally, right now, what was it?
39, 30, 38, 39,000, something like that?
Maybe a little less. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've forgotten. My mind is a haze. There's nothing but fog in my head right now.
Okay.
And on the regional, we got about 40,000. And on the province, I think we're touching 35,000 round about now.
Okay, so you're at least going to get at least maybe 2 seats nationally so far?
We're hoping to get 2 seats nationally.
And provincially at least one?
At least one, and hopefully a second one. If we get really lucky, but you know what, I'm not a lucky type.
Yeah. What do you think resonated with the voters that came out to vote with you?
We are not a party of complaints. This whole country is looking up and saying the ANC this and the DA that, and the ANC this and the DA that, and that's all they do. When we see that people are struggling with water, we'll try and fix the water issue. When we see that people are not getting their kids into school, we will address the schools. That's the difference between us and everyone else, I think. Well, that's one of a few differences. When we understood that colored people weren't getting employed fairly, we decided to shut down whoever didn't want to work. We didn't want our kids to work, and that's it. We are a target-driven party. We are a results-oriented party. There's no promises of this and promises of that. Like I told you before, if you wanna understand our manifesto, look at the things we do.
So let's touch on to something that people are saying that you are a colored party. And then you had the numbers that the Patriotic Alliance got, and people said they also a colored party. So from the numbers it appears as if the message of the Patriotic Alliance resonated more with the people who regard themselves as colored, or what?
I'd ask that people use common sense and apply and compare apples with apples. The NCC is 4 years old. The Patriotic Alliance is 13 years old.
Okay.
The NCC had a budget of 14 million rand. The Patriotic Alliance announced that the election campaign would cost 170 million rand. I'm telling you that for 14 million rand, nobody could purchase the votes we did with 14,000 rand. So I don't get it. If you want to ask me about the Patriotic Alliance's stance on the colored issue, I'm going to ask you to go and ask them. Because last I heard, they were a colorful party, not a colored party.
Okay.
So I don't see the confusion.
Okay. Can I ask you another point I want to bring to you is that if I look at the numbers on the board, there's some people got a few hundred votes, some people just got over 1,000, etc. Do you think there must be a threshold for parties in order to contest at least a national and provincial election?
Ooh, I'm not sure that I want to enter that water because you know what? This is a democracy and everybody has the right to do anything that's constitutional. I don't see why we want to keep anyone out of the room. You know, if you've got a constituency and if you got if you can make a reasonable argument, I think you should be in the conversation.
Okay.
Even
if you only got 50 people who's going to vote for you.
Well, it's your money, you're wasting it. You know, so ultimately, you know what? I think we might have to then ask people first to contest the local government election before they be allowed to contest the bigger one. Maybe that should be the means test. But I certainly don't want anybody kept out of an election on the basis of X, Y, and Z because I can tell you now, they would have used any excuse to keep us off the ballot.
Okay, I get you. Can I ask then there's another issue that if you look at that on that board and you look at all of the parties and if all of the parties had to, some of those parties, so-called smaller parties or new entrants who had similar views on particular matters, if they had to collaborate or work together, don't you think that you guys would have made a bigger impact then?
You know, Rod, you know what our views are on most issues. We're not finding the similarities until it comes to election time. Then everybody wants to speak about the culture. I mean, I hear what I know what you want, and what you want.
What do I want?
You want us all opposition parties to work together to dethrone whoever. But again, if we are speaking the same language, why are we only speaking it 3 months before the election? So
you are open to it as long as they talk way more longer than 3 months ahead of the time.
I love consistency.
Okay.
I love consistency, and unfortunately the consistency is just not there. Because when we're going out there, closing down whatever that doesn't want to do justice to colored people, we're getting to be taking punches from these same parties that you would want us to work together. You know, but when it becomes election time, then the constituency must hear. No, the colored child, from the same people that gun us when we're working with the colored child. So
okay.
You explain it to me.
Okay. Tell me what can people expect different when you guys go into the benches of national parliament and provincial parliament?
We are different. We're coming to lock up the thieves.
You gotta
and
come and lock up the thieves.
We're the only party in the country with a track record. No one else can do it. No one else appears to be willing to do it. There goes the premier.
Yeah, continue.
So no one else shown an appetite to take on the corruption in this country. That's why trillions of rands are gone and no one's in jail. No one of note anyway.
Okay. So that's what you guys are going to do. You're going to focus on that.
If we can cut out corruption in this country, you know, things get better instantly. Unfortunately, there's no appetite for this.
Okay. So, Fadiel, anything you want to say to your supporters? People that voted for you?
We appreciate you. Thank you for trusting us with your vote. We will not disappoint.
Okay. Good. Thanks.
Have a good night, sir.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye.